Oh, hello, and we are back for our Talk About It Tuesday episode. I am super glad to be able to share. Oh, it's an exciting episode in store for you today. Go ahead and share real quickly. We're only going to be on here just a few moments for our Talk About It Tuesday. Talk About It Tuesday. We have a topic and we're going to talk about it. We got some people, we got some guests today. And listen, y'all, I'm so excited. So welcome to Talk About It Tuesday, another episode where we just going to talk about it. And today, y'all, the title of today's Talk About It is The Next Chapter. The next chapter.
Two things really quickly, Robbie. You mentioned in speaking about your high school career, you mentioned the term IB. So in 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, can you just explain to us what the IB program is?
So the IB program, International Baccalaureate, it's so if you think of AP for public school and other private schools, it's kind of similar, except the way we do our classes, if you get certain credits, and I think Lausanne might be one of the only IB schools in Memphis. What I do know is you either can get a full IB diploma or just a regular honors Lausanne. I got the regular honors. I didn't go through with the full IB because of my condition. But when you get the full IB diploma, you get all types of credits at your college. If your college accepts IB credits, which I do, you take IB exams at the end of the school year, and then depending on your grade, you can get credits, which makes sure you don't have to take certain classes in college. So I got a 5 on my English, so I'm gonna get some credits for my.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering that. It's very important to know our options and what's available to us. And congratulations to you. Kudos to you. Hats off to you for taking advantage of what's before us to set you out, give you leverage on your pathway to success. We know that there are many different ways to go about receiving certifications, getting degrees. We have Tyler, who's taking a more technical path, and then we have Reverend Patterson, who did not necessarily go the traditional route. He lived life a little bit before coming back, but still alive, but still reaching his academic goals. But we also have Janiyah and Robbie, who will take a more traditional path in receiving different various degrees, a traditional collegiate path. For you ladies who I'm assuming will live on campus, do you have any concerns about living on campus?
So HBCUs. The part about HBCUs that's a little concerning is that even though they get donations, the tuition is higher than the roof, they still have a lot of issues. For example, Spelman, half of the dorms don't have AC. Luckily, I get the AC dorm, but when I was there during the summer, there was a lot of problems with the bathrooms. This is not necessarily a problem with the school, but sometimes women particularly don't know how to take care of themselves, which leads to smells and, not learning how to pick up after yourself. And when I was there was also some drama, but that's not very concerning to me because as long as I don't have a problem with somebody, I don't care what they have to say about me.
So Tyler and Janiyah, y'all at church, Reverend Brian, what I preached about today, stay focused. We're going to need that, Robbie. Usually I would say cut that part out about Spelman, but we're going to pray before you go back that Spelman is working on those things. We've all been there. And like she said, HBCU, but we're going to pray for those. Listen, y'all, she keeping it real. We talking about it.
I was just going to say that while we are highlighting the reality of living on campus, it's important to continue to give back to your colleges. Make sure that you're sewing back so that all of our dorms can have heat and air.
That's right. Working
heat and air, and that our students, our youth are able to live in quality, in great conditions as they are ventured through their academic career.
Yeah. And another thing is so important, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of our HBCUs, people think that the tuition dollars are going to pay for everything, but a lot of that is just really the basic things just to get them through for academics. The college still have to operate, and people have to get paid for services, and a lot of that is done by those, as Ashley just spoke about, donations and the alumni pouring back into the school. I'm a product of a graduate alumni of 2 HBCUs, one being in the AU Center of graduate degree, but undergrad, I had an opportunity to go back to my undergrad and work there in administration, and then come to Memphis and work at Memphis's own HBCU. So I got a chance to see firsthand of the ins and outs and what it takes really, y'all, to really keep the schools and those particular programs moving. And so your prayers are great and needed, but also your profits. Those monies are necessary. And so, yes, we want to point out those concerns, keep pointing those out, but also as we hear those things, those who are out there, don't take that and put negative stuff out there on but it is to pour back so we can get those things. Come on, Janai, what you have to say?
I definitely can agree with Robbie. Like, living conditions is definitely a concern I have, because, some people just don't know what to do. Another concern I would have is definitely, I'm fortunate enough to live my dorm. I live in a suite. It's called CAU Suites. And I'm fortunate enough to have kind of like my own room. And so another one of my concerns is definitely like privacy, because like the way our suites are set up, we don't have doors on our room. So you share a side, so it's 2 people to a side, but you have your own space, but we don't have doors. So definitely one of my concerns is privacy, and making sure like we set boundaries with whoever your roommate is definitely something to take into consideration.
I just want to say one thing. I'm not knocking my school. Spelman is amazing. But the hygiene is a universal thing. If there's ever somebody in a communal dorm, most colleges have communal dorms. That's not something that is for PWIs or HBCUs. Sometimes communal dorms, especially in all women school, a bunch of women using a small space, when at home they have more space, it's gonna be a challenge. But we'll make it work.
And this is probably a question for one of you all as well, Janiyah or Robbie. I guess as Tyler and Reverend Brian maybe can share about being in school or being in college, working, you still want to have some type of free time or social time. How do you envision yourself balancing school life, work life, social life? How do you envision? Robbie, you were sharing about, you kind of had that kind of a little experience through high school with that. And so maybe you want to kind of lead us into that, or what that balance may be, or maybe whatever you've overcome, it may could spill over into what you're doing now.
I'm not going to lie. It's definitely going to be a different challenge, similar, but probably on a higher level of trying to, balance, because high school, the workload is a lot, but the parties aren't as, or not even the parties, but the social life isn't as demanding. But going to school in Atlanta, first of all, obviously, most people are going to want to go out and experience that. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but all I know is that I'm going to have my mom's voice in the back of my head saying, do your work, do your work, do your work, then you can go out. I'm just going to make sure that I can make sure all of my stuff is done before I have an idea. Let me go out and stuff. I pray that nothing happens to where I'm like, this work will get done later, because I've seen people try to do that at Spelman, and it does not work like that. Plus, I don't have a car, so I'm going to think, I'm not spending money on Uber today. That's going to be my reason for not going out.
Well, that's good. Let me tell y'all a little secret. After Janiyah talks, I guess I'll see what she say, but I don't want to influence her.
You go ahead and go.
Well, I was kind of like, I didn't go out, but I sure enough waited. I was a risk taker. Yeah. And I waited to the last minute to get my stuff done. And I knew the deadlines, but I didn't like having a long time to do so. I always like to get it done. Like I wanted, if somebody give me something, I expect them to give me the deadline. And so like the syllabus, they're going to give y'all a syllabus. I don't know if they're still doing it now, but they gave me a syllabus and they gave you an outline of different things that were going to be covered in class. So I would read through the whole thing, like, okay, I got to do this. And I would already have in my mind, like, how I'm going to get through it. So I would rate to the last minute, sometimes scrambling, doing those things. Some people operate better like that, but then for some people, it's not the best practice. Early is always better, or on time is always best. Come on, Janiyah. Come on, talk to me. Tell me what I hope I just didn't influence your answer.
No, not really. Maybe a little bit. But I definitely, about like the risk taker part, I definitely learned in high school not to wait till the last minute to do my work.
Praise the Lord.
I definitely struggled. So especially the workload in college, I definitely have to realize that I need to get it done. And the parties can wait. Like people are already promoting parties, like on welcome week. Like it's a lot. And I have to definitely make sure I take the time to sit back and realize that I have to get my work done first before I do anything.
So how they promoting the party? Y'all not even there. Man, that's when I don't know, Brian, I don't know what I would have done if they would have been promoting parties before I got to the school, before I got to the city. I didn't have all that. We had to wait till we got there and try to figure it out. Like, okay, what's the word? The word on the mouth. It was word of mouth, or we saw the flyers or something posted on campus. But now they promoting the party before y'all even get there. Like, hey, when you arrive, go here. Jump on this party bus. Put that on it. Take off all your clothes over here and do it right. Don't y'all act like that. I know they got parties. There's all kind of stuff going on. Man, that's crazy work.
It's crazy work. Diabolical.
Right? Diabolical. Okay. All right, I'll stop.
For me, in high school, I had a problem with getting my work done.
How you have a problem? You at home?
That's the problem. Being at home and working. And I was at Kroger, and I had my dad and my mom would get on to me, and they would be like, since I had a job at Kroger and stuff like that, I'm ready to go to work. I ain't even worried about school. I would do some of the work, but I would push it to the side a little bit because I'm really ready to go to work, ready to see my friends. I'm ready to get out the house, really. And I had a problem with that. And I guess you could say senior year, usually I'll be at the table doing my work. But I guess senior year, I just moved to my room and I just did my stuff in my room, and I guess that kind of helped me a little bit. And then I guess ever since I left Kroger, I just been at TCAT, FedEx. So I really don't, stay focused.
So this question is for Janiyah. Janiyah, do you already know what you'll be majoring in? And if so, what is that?
I will be majoring in biology.
Okay, and tell us a little more. Why?
So I chose biology because I want to do something in the medical field. I plan on becoming a physician's assistant, and Clark Atlanta doesn't offer like a pre-med track or a nursing track. Those were like my two options, and so I just settled for biology. But when I went on my tour, they definitely pushed that a lot of people major in biology, and they have a lot of resources that can connect you to people who are in the medical field and what you may want to focus on when you do get there and once you do graduate. And they have a lot of resources set up to help you along the way so that when you do graduate, you can already have something set up and ready for you to pursue whatever you want to do in your field.
When you say you don't talk, girl, you got this thing together. You got this thing. 5 years from now, Janiyah, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
5 years.
Come on. 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Hopefully, I'll be working towards becoming a physician's assistant because at that point, I'll be out of college.
Okay.
So hopefully, it may be working towards getting another degree, possibly. Just depends on how life goes,
So the physician assistant, You will be getting it after you graduate. You plan to do that? Okay, okay. And so the steps is to complete this biology degree to get there. Okay, okay. That's good. I'm tap. What y'all clock the T? Clock the T. Gotcha. Robbie, 5 years from now, 5 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh, tell us about your major too.
First of all, shout out to you and kudos to you because I did a biology major on for my camp, and let's just say it didn't go too well. But I am majoring in English, which is very different. I want to be a lawyer, some type of attorney. So my mom is an attorney, and she majored in English, and so is my stepmom. She's also went to law school, and she majored in English. So that's the path I'm taking. I really liked English in high school. I like writing. I like analyzing text. So I feel like it'll be a lot, but enjoyable. I feel like if I did something else, like some type of science, I like science, but I don't like, oh my gosh, science. You're very, very, very smart, girl, because that, but in 5 years, I'll probably be in law school, second year, right? Yeah, second year of law school or first, depending on how life goes, like you said, hopefully working towards being, I don't know what kind of attorney I want to be. It depends on what's going on in the world. Right now, I want to be an immigrant attorney, but I started off wanting to be a criminal justice attorney. So I'll most likely be in law school. Hopefully, I'm thinking about like going to Emory, staying in Atlanta. My mom went to Emory Law, so hopefully not somewhere back here. I don't want to come back to Memphis.
Wow.
Because I want to.
Wait. You tell me you're not coming back to Memphis ever, or just what? Tell me, say more about that.
Honestly,
no, you're not gonna come on my talk about it Tuesday and tell me you're not gonna come back. I'm just kidding with you. Go ahead.
No, I'll come back to Memphis with my family, but I don't. I feel like I was born in Atlanta, and I have a lot of family in Atlanta. So I see my cousins, how they are in Atlanta, always on the go, always, there's a lot of new stuff. I won't say that the crime is still the same how it is here, but I feel like it's bigger. There's a lot more opportunities, like deeper, like not so surface level. I haven't seen a lot of opportunities like law, for example. Here, I see how my mom really prevailed when she was in Atlanta and how she did. Same with my father and my stepmom. So I want to be in Atlanta in 5 years.
Well, that just broke my heart. I just knew.
So I challenge you, Robbie, even though you may not take residence in Memphis after your 5 years or when you've become this outstanding lawyer, I do challenge you to come back to mentor other young ladies and other young men so that there are more Robbies in the world. We need Robbies in the world. Most definitely need Robbies in Memphis. You spoke of family and wanted to give back and support your family. And this question is not just for Robbie, it's for everyone. But if you could think of one resource that you could have in efforts to support your family or to strengthen your community, what's that one resource you would like to have? Tyler, we can start with you.
Clarify resource.
Anything that may help you to better support your family or to give back to the community to strengthen, revitalize, anything of the sort that will help to improve the community.
Uh, could I say? Could I say feed the homeless?
Sure. What resource would you need to do that?
Well, money.
Okay.
Money, people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, feed the homeless.
Okay.
Money. And people. Yeah.
Robert?
This is about like the community, not necessarily my family, but I feel like the crime rates in Memphis are very high. And one reason I feel like that is because when somebody gets caught like with a gun or with drugs, they just get thrown in the system. You're going to 201 Poplar and they're going to just throw you in jail and you're going to get out and do the same thing. But what I feel a resource that we need is things to help you get back on your feet. I don't know what that would necessarily be, but classes like you can go back and finish your education and understand that what you're doing is not okay. You don't have to sell drugs to feed your family. There's things that you can do. More job opportunities. There is a lot of job opportunities, but people think that working a 9 to 5 is worse than selling drugs for money. But I do feel like after jail, there should be resources to help you get back on your feet, whether that's putting food on the table, going back to school, getting money to feed yourself and your family. That's what I would do.
I think we need more mentoring uh, in the community, and I think a lot of times when you mentioned about selling drugs, that's what a lot of young people see. They don't see the people out there that are actually doing legitimate jobs and enjoying those things. So I think that we have to reach out to the young people and not be afraid to tell our stories. I mean, I have a history, I have a past, and I'm not ashamed to talk about that because I tell my kids all the time. I have two adult daughters that have graduated from college, but uh, when I tell the story, sometimes they're shocked. They see me, the dad person, and not the person that before being a dad. So I think it's important to share the life experiences that you have with people. And I think that would be the biggest. And that's not a resource that requires money. It's just people actually volunteering their time.
For me, part of the reason why I majored in biology and wanted to do something in the medical field was so that I could come back and help the underserved communities who don't have health care, because a lot of people, especially mostly Black people, they don't know they have certain illnesses, and because they don't have health care and they can't afford it. So I would want to come back and help serve those communities and give them what they need to make sure that they understand their health and everything that they need to know about it.
Great, great, great. All of you all, great answers and great encouragement. I need one person to offer some type of encouragement, some type of advice to maybe another person, either Robbie, Tyler, or Janiyah. If you could just share some advice or encouragement to some other young person who may be coming along, and what would you tell them to look out for or to expect or what to dream, some type of advice for them? And then, Reverend Brian, how can you encourage all of us in the room about the path that we take and the perseverance that it takes to get there?
Piece of advice I would have to really everybody is to never compare yourself and never look down on anyone, because this is everyone's first time living. So everybody's going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? So comparing yourself, it really puts you in a bad state of mind. Like, I need to be better. I need to be more like them. When in reality, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has their own pathway of life. So there's no good in comparing yourself or looking down on other people or not saying nothing's wrong with looking up to people, but like making people your idols. Like, I'm going to be just like them. I want to be just like them, because how are you expecting to, live life to the fullest if you're trying to chase somebody else's dream?
I think I would encourage you not to have a time limit. Whatever, when you go to school, don't get focused on, I'm gonna be out in 4 years. If it takes 5 years, there's nothing wrong with that. Just figure out your path and just don't rush it. I mean, because I promise you're gonna look back at your undergrad years and you're gonna realize that those were actually the best times of your life. Before you get into the real world. So if I could have stayed a student in undergrad for 10 years, I probably would have. So don't put a time limit. Don't don't rush it. Take your time and enjoy.
Don't stay for 10 years though.
Right.
Get on out of there.
Right.
Somebody gonna have to pay for them 10 years. But he's right about those. I'm sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
No, I'm just, that's the thing. I think a lot of times I was so focused on, getting out as soon as possible. Yeah. And even with my master's program, I rushed through that. And like, I'm not going to do that the same thing with this doctoral program. I mean, I went, took a full load every semester, 4 classes, never took a time off. And I'm not gonna do that in this doctoral program. I'm gonna take my time and just do what I have to do.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Ashley, you'll say something, and while she's getting ready, I do want to. The Bible shares with us: be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication. That means telling God exactly what it is. Let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God that don't make sense. It says it surpasseth all understanding, will keep your heart, guard your mind through Christ Jesus. God just gave me that as you were talking. That scripture came to mind about this because he was talking about being anxious on getting out and getting ready. And although we want you to kind of go through, do things on time, get finished, but he was saying don't put so much focus on that it stress you out. Janai, like, oh, I ain't gonna be done in time. I almost got like that when I got a testimony about being an undergrad. I attended undergrad in 1999, so that means that I would have graduated in 2003. Well, I had wrote my goals and planned that I would graduate with an educational degree and a certification to teach, right? Well, when I got to school and was taking all these different electives and different things, maybe falling behind in one or two classes, I was like, I want to certify to teach. Didn't know that I had one semester had to be designated for my student teaching and for me to actually teach. And so it put me a semester behind, right? But I could have graduated, but I wouldn't have been certified to teach and I wouldn't have been finished and all that kind of stuff. I went to summer school and then I had to come back. So we didn't have what's called a fall graduation, winter graduation. So I had to wait another semester the next year where I was supposed to graduate in 2003, but my official walking in ceremony was in 2004. So that was the anxious part about, and so this scripture comes to mind, but by prayer, and y'all gonna need some prayer, okay? Don't let the people, that's gonna be your secret weapon, because some of your friends probably don't get the church stuff like you get the church stuff, right? They don't have grandmamas and mamas and daddies and family praying for them, and a pastor like me who here with you. In supplication, don't be afraid to talk to God about every and anything, no matter what it is. Y'all talk about drugs and alcohol and folk and the way they smell. Tell God about that stuff. You know what I mean? The space, talking, whatever it is, relationship problem, school problem. And then he says, let your request be made known unto God. Sometimes you probably like, I can't call my mom about this. I can't call grandmama. Sure enough, can't call my dad, Lord. Who am I going to talk to? And be careful talking to them so-called friends, because they'll be out there spreading your stuff all across the campus. They'll be like, Tyler was over here with this person today. Y'all watch him out. And you be like, why are you looking at me funny? I'm talking to Janai and Robbie. Y'all gonna walk up in the cafeteria and you're gonna be like, why they looking at me like this? Because somebody done spread their business that you done told them. So talk to God. You can't talk to nobody else. And he says, and then he'll give you some peace that surpasses all understanding. What you got to say, Ashley? And then we got to get out of here.
Yeah, so we've been in a preaching series of being focused. So I just encourage you all, and of course, encourage our VIP, our guests, to remain focused. Remember your why. You will face challenges. Hurdles will come. But always remember your why. Remember why you're doing what you set out to do. And continue to remain focused and push yourself through, remain steadfast. I always say to live life in purpose, with purpose, and on purpose. As long as you're doing that, then you will continue and pave your own pathway of success.
Well, thank you for joining us for another Talk About It Tuesday. I'm your one and only, your humble servant, your host for today, and I'm thankful for all of our guests, all of you for tuning in. Share this with someone else. Put a comment in the comment section if you want to reach us. Reach us. We look forward to talking about it Tuesday again. Next Tuesday, tune in with us. We got a surprise and a topic that you can relate to. Until the next time we see and meet you, peace.